my God, what a special episode we're about to have.
What a special episode. What a special mini podcast?
Yeah, mini.
That could be a thing. Mini podcast.
It's the end of the year. It's time for countdowns, year of list, best of list.
Yes, we're totally not recording this the day we recorded our most recent podcast.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. No,
doing
no,
them back to back and
Guys.
releasing them weeks apart. So I guess this week, we're going to be going down our top 5 favorite songs of the year.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yes.
So I've made a top 5 list. Matt Steele has made a top 5 list.
I made a top 5 list. There's definitely more than 5 songs in my top 5 list.
Of course there is.
You got to have your honorable mentions and like a couple ties or,
I think that's fair. But I'm wondering how much overlap we're going to have in these.
There's definitely going to be one overlap.
I feel like
without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So do you want to start with number 5?
I guess I'll start. Well, first of all, I want to give, do you have any honorable mentions that didn't quite make the top 5?
I mean, I have some that'll come up just other songs by the same artist. I picked one song per artist. I wasn't going to give you 8 Taylor Swift songs.
I know, that's so,
You know?
It was so hard because she came out with a lot of great stuff.
She did. So when we get to her, I'll talk about the other songs I want to talk about.
Okay, sounds good. That's fair. So I just want to give some honorable mentions.
Okay.
My numbers 6 and 7 were Never Really Over by Katy Perry.
Oh, that's a great honorable mention.
Absolutely a great song.
Great song.
It was Back to Form, Katy Perry, a song that you could really just spin around as a psychopath.
Yes, I
too.
feel outside of her work with Dr. Luke, her work with Zed has been the most consistently good. So I hope she keeps working with him. And
what was Dr. Luke? Dr.
Luke was Teenage Dream and Prism too. But
it's a great time.
They were
time.
they were musical soulmates before his whole thing.
Okay. Yes. And so Zed was Never Really Over?
Zed was Never Really Over.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's information I didn't know. Good job, Zed. Good job, Katy Perry.
And they did a song together called 365, which I also liked. But that might have been top of this year as well. Sorry, go on.
Okay, cool. Another honorable mention is this song called Looking For You. That's on Fantasia's most recent album. It's a song featuring a woman by the name of Mama Diane, who's really great. A beautiful, simple song. I love Fantasia when she sort of mishmashes genres. And
yes.
It's not an obvious mishmash genre, but you listen to it and you're kind of this is sort of, it has it's a ballad with a beat kind of moment. It's really, really great. Really, really beautiful. My favorite song on her most recent album, Sketchbook. I love Fantasia.
Yes.
But if we're getting to top 5, my number 5 is a song that should have been a bigger hit and is a fucking classic.
Okay.
And that song is Ariana Grande's opus, Break Up With Your Boyfriend, I'm Bored. What an
It was a big
song.
hit. It was a big hit.
It should have been a bigger hit. It should have gone number 1. It should have been a bigger hit than 7 fucking Rings.
I know, but 7 Rings was getting, taking all of that heat right off of Thank You Next, which was so huge.
I know.
It was riding the wave. I agree.
It was riding the wave. And Rodgers and Hammerstein, you can't go wrong. They're the greatest songwriters of all time. But
are they Mariah Carey?
They are Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Oh, so they're not. Okay. But no, I agree. I think Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored is better than 7 Rings by a mile.
Oh my God. What a
fun song. I love that Candy co-wrote it because of It Makes Me Ill
That sample is so good. I remember looking at the track listings and being there's a song called Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored.
I know. What is
a great title. And the music video, how it's just at the end, she's about to kiss the girl and it's okay, that's a little gimmicky, but whatever.
I know. But it's yes.
It's so great. It works.
Ariana did everything right this year. I would have rather this be the big hit too versus 7 Rings, but
and what a good album.
It's
what a
album.
Really good, a solid all the way through consistent album. There's 1 or 2 songs that are just album tracks. And everything is really great. What a good album. Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored, classic.
Love it.
My number 5 of the year.
All right. Well, my number 5 of the year is by an artist who came out as gender non-conforming, I believe, this year. Sam Smith. They released a song entitled Dancing with a Stranger with our queen Normani. And it's one of those songs that I feel has been a slow burn for me. I liked it when I first heard it. I think it's deceptively simple. You think oh, this is just sing-songy and very straightforward and nothing's really happening here. But I feel it's, I love a sad dance song. I feel it is layered. I just love hearing Normani on a song with such a strong melody because as much as I love Motivation, that is more a catchy, fun bop that is behind the greatest music video we've seen in years. And this is a song, like a very beautifully written, beautifully constructed pop song. And I just hope she has a lot of those on her debut record. It also just got me more excited for what she's going to do. Like her collaboration with Sam Smith and then her collaboration with Khalid just makes me feel like, okay, Normani.
Wait, hold on. So is it a Sam Smith song or is it a Normani song?
It's Sam Smith featuring Normani, but it's like a duet. Like Normani. Have you heard it? Yeah, Normani.
I have not heard it. No.
What?
I've never listened to a Sam Smith album.
Well, this was his single. Like this was the single.
I haven't
wow.
heard
Have you heard How Do You Sleep?
Of course I have. Yeah, I've heard that one.
I think this one's bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I've heard it in the background in the ether, and I just haven't been paying attention.
I think so. It's a really lovely song. I advise you.
Okay, if you say it's your number 5, then I
it's
trust
a great one.
You have good opinions.
I mean,
I can be a basic Betty sometimes about music, but you go deep.
I do.
You go into the deep cuts.
This is not a deep cut, though. This is literally a radio
It's
hit.
a deep cut in my world. Okay.
It is not a deep cut.
They weren't playing it at my club.
Okay, it's a great song, and it's worthy of the number 5 spot.
All right, I trust you. My number 4 is going to be our overlap. It's Cruel Summer.
Okay.
By Taylor Swift.
Yes, it is an overlap.
What a wonderful, perfect song. I'm sure you will have a lot more to say about it, so we can just go to your number 4.
Is it only your is that the only Taylor appearance in your top 5?
Of course not.
Oh, I only do one per artist.
I know you have because you know more. You have more music in your ethers.
I was thinking this was going to be our overlap, my number 4, but I think you prefer it. I like it, and which is why it's number 4. But Carly Rae Jepsen's "Want You in My Room."
I mean, she's coming.
We're going to be talking about it a lot later, I'm sure, but she and Jack Antonoff really knocked it out of the park with this one. I feel like it is so interesting. It's so melodic. It's so fun. I love the robot vocals. It's so weird, but not just for the sake of being weird.
No, oh my God.
It is the perfect balance between weird and commercial, and it's
thrilling.
It's thrilling.
And so short.
Yes. And
I wish it was 10 minutes long.
But it doesn't feel like underdeveloped. Like it feels in every stanza is like a different twist and turn. Every, part of the song, whether it's the verse to the chorus, the, bridge breakdown, it's great.
And it feels so her. Like
Yes.
it doesn't feel like, oh, Carly, we're doing something crazy. It's crazy, but it still feels like her. And it's just like, oh, Carly.
I know. Carly better work.
Carly, I tell all the straights I work with, I'm just like, no, guys, and they're just like, oh, like the Call Me Maybe girl. And I'm just like, no, guys.
I know. She's gay famous. Only gays love her.
Yeah,
but we do.
It's so interesting.
I feel like
so
of
good.
the gay famous people, she's by far my favorite. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
No offense to any Charlie XCX stands out there, but I just don't care. Or Kim Petras, who I did like a lot of her songs, but then when she came out and said she loved Dr. Luke, I had to jump off board.
It's hard. I did listen to Kim Petras because everyone was talking about that Halloween album.
How did you like it?
It's good. It's fun.
Nice.
The part 2 I like better than the part 1.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a song that's just like, there will be blood. You're gonna die.
Oh my.
And it's just like, it's really fun.
It's aggressive.
Yeah. So my number 3, I think should also be a classic. It's Brown Skin Girl from The Lion King.
It's a great
The
song.
Gift by Beyonce. What an album that whole thing is. And I feel like Brown Skin Girl's the most commercial song.
I think it's the most well-known song at this point.
I would say
it kind of
so,
went viral. Like I feel like there were a lot of videos of black mothers with their daughters singing along to the song, and it's beautiful.
And there are other songs on the album that, you could go into more depth about. Brown Skin Girl, there's such a simplicity to it and everything, but still it works. It just works. It's beautiful. It's lovely. We're going to hear more about this album later from Matt Palmer.
I don't know how you know that. I don't know. Yeah,
Brown Skin Girl, I think, has the number 3 slots.
I love that
in my list.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 for me. What was my number 3? My notes app closed. Sorry, guys. Mine is my favorite Ariana Grande song on her album. It's a song entitled "Needy."
Needy's great.
Needy is so wonderful. I feel like I think it's so interesting how she starts the album off with those 2 ballads, Imagine and then Needy. And I just feel like Needy,
in a world full of impatient little children.
Yes.
She starts 2 songs, 2 ballady songs.
Yeah, we're going to make you wait till the end of the album to get to the songs you heard on the radio because I am depressed and I want you to hear about it.
Yes.
And I mean, I feel like just as conceptually, who does not have that feeling? Sometimes I can be needy. Way too damn needy.
Oh, I am the definition, darling. I'm the definition of annoying as hell. I always want, whenever I go on a date with someone, I'm always like, FYI, I'm annoying. And they're just like, no. And I'm just like, oh, get ready.
I love that you warn them.
I warn them because I talk a lot. I always chat, and give my opinions.
I think that's allowed. I think you're allowed to give your opinions. That's what people like about you.
Also with this, I want to know more about this album and how it happens so quickly after Sweetener.
I mean, my phone is just typing out what we're saying.
What?
I don't know why.
Does it sound great?
It doesn't look great. No.
Are we saying great things?
Yes, I think a lot of it, from what I've heard from her in interviews, she's like, I was drunk and high the whole time I was making this album. I don't remember a lot of it. I just was so depressed and I just had to get it out of me.
This album, man.
Because I mean, it was 6 months after Sweetener, right? And she just like went to the studio and was going through a lot of emotional hardships, obviously with the whole Mac Miller thing and her divorce.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And not divorce, her broken engagement. So she just was going through a lot. And, you know, on top of that whole Manchester bombing, which happened the year prior, it's just like this girl, for someone so young, has just been really put through the ringers. And I think this album is so good top to bottom. It's so uniquely her sound. And I think Needy is so emblematic of that. I will say NASA is also up there for me.
NASA is excellent.
Favorite song on the album. It's so good. It's so good. And I think like I read somewhere that she didn't like the song. And it's like, oh, Ariana, your taste. Like this song is excellent.
Yes.
So yeah, that is an honorable mention for me because I think NASA is.
It's so
excellent.
great. I always listen to NASA.
It's a great song.
Yeah, that's one that sort of like pops up on my shuffle the most, I feel.
Yeah.
And I can't skip it.
I know. How could you?
NASA. Yes.
NASA. Yes. We love.
Yes. I'm gonna need space. So my number 2 is a song from an album we did not really discuss. That we talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but we did not make a video of it or anything. Okay, the Madonna album that came out this year has some choices that they don't always. There's a song called what's it called? Party with Drunk People. I blocked it out of my memory. There are some moments that are rough. I heard the first single off the album, Madeleine, I think is actually really good, and you don't like it at all.
I don't know.
I think it's really fun, and I mean, what's his name is so hot.
I mean, that's the thing. Maluma. Are you just liking the song because Maluma is so attractive?
Because he opens his mouth, and I'm just like,
this is perfect.
I've melted into a puddle. No, but I think the song is actually really fun. I don't know. The 1-2 cha-cha-chas are a little rough,
yes.
but I don't know. I like it. But there's a song on the album that is a fucking slapper. Is just nuts and amazing. And it is called Faz Gostoso.
I do love that song.
What a classic.
I need to re-listen.
I have no idea what's happening because it's all in Portuguese, but
it's wonderful.
I don't speak Portuguese. I forget. I put it into Google Translate once. I forget what Faz Gostoso means. Let me look it up.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get on my Google Translate. But it's featuring an artist called Anitta, who's a Brazilian artist. And I was actually in Denmark at the time this album came out, and I met a guy at a club who was from Brazil, and he told me, he was like, yeah, we're really excited about the new Madonna album because a really great artist from Brazil is featured on a song, and we're just like really excited about it.
I love it.
I listened to the song, and I have this guy's, I followed this guy on Instagram, and I messaged him on Instagram. I was like, just so you know, this song is the best song on the album, and it's absolutely insane. Hold on. My Google Translate isn't really working. We'll get at the end of the Two Gay Mats, this podcast, I'll tell you what Faz Gostoso means.
I'm excited.
Guys, listen to it. It's just so great.
It is great. And I need to re-listen to that too, because I feel like a lot of that album I didn't love, and so I just haven't revisited any of it. But I do remember very much liking that song. Yes. And then wait, was that your number 3 or your number 2?
That was my number 2.
Okay.
Yes.
My number 2, you spoke about moments ago. Cruel Summer. There's so much that I have already said about Cruel Summer. It is so excellent for a myriad of reasons, but I will always go back to the bridge. I think that chanty,
what a bridge.
Like, we're getting chanty, we're getting specific, where it's just the Taylor Swift we all know and love. I feel like if there's a blank space on the album, it's Cruel Summer. The honorable mention for me from this album was Cornelia Street. I think it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous ballad. I mean, we said it in the video, but I can't say it enough. I love the return to the specificity, the return to, like, we're
the
getting
storytelling.
Yeah, the storytelling. It's like
you see this relationship happening in front of you.
Yes. You don't have to be doing country music to tell a story in your songs. And she took that on, and I really appreciate it.
My favorite thing about Cruel Summer is how it's so breezy yet hard at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, you dance hard around your room. Like, you're just spinning and spinning, and it feels like you're falling in love.
It
like,
does.
It's just I just sway and move, and it feels so breezy. It works with the vision of this era, like the pastels, and it just works so well. And the fact that she could rhyme ooh wow wow with Cruel Summer and not have it sound stupid is brilliant.
I clearly am still Anne, even though that rhyme makes no sense. I still love it.
It makes no sense.
None.
When it works. that's the thing with like art. It's just like, well, it might not make sense. It might not follow the rules, but like when it works, it works.
Exactly.
That rhyme works. That song works. That song is incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A+.
A+.
All right. Who comes in at number 1?
Oh, it's a tie for number 1.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry, guys, but I had to do it, especially because like I find the songs so similar, and you don't find them that similar.
I don't.
But obviously, we've talked about it before. Rae Jepsen, I Want You in My Room. I don't know what to say about it. It's the best song of the year, tied with Taylor Swift's I Think He Knows. Just the 2 happiest, pure joy moments of my year have just been dancing around those songs in my bedroom.
I mean, those are great songs.
Listening to it and just like feeling like, oh, I'm in love, even though I'm totally not in love. You're brought back to like those moments.
That's amazing.
I don't know. They're just so silly, and they evoke the silliness of falling in love, which I really, really love.
That's true. And not every song does that. That's kind of a unique take.
Yeah.
Falling in love in a pop song. So.
And it's like quirky and funky. They're both so good. And they're both, so they had to both tie for number 1, I had to say.
You couldn't push one down?
Yeah. And before you get to your number 1, I looked up Faj Gustoso on my Translate app on the app. It means it tastes good.
Oh, right. It tastes good.
It tastes good. So guys, all these songs, Faj Gustoso.
My number 1 was also mentioned earlier. Find Your Way Back. Mm-hmm. What can I say about Find Your Way Back that I didn't say in that video? Probably nothing, except that it's just a song for all time. It is her. Everything is everything. I think it is musically, lyrically, sonically, I love how driving it is. I love how up-tempo it is. I love how mellow the vocal is. I love how... it's like she's gotten to the point in her career, obviously, where she's not trying to impress anyone. She's not trying to like do too much vocally or do too much anything. It's like, no, I have a message, and like if you have to lean in, listen to me whisper out my message, you're gonna hear it, because it's important. And the way that it ties back into The Lion King as a film, I just think it's such a freaking triumph, and it is awful to me that this was not a single or a hit, because like the world needs to hear this song. Like this should, like, to me, I guess the sound of the album is not as commercial in the US, but like who doesn't like an African backbeat, an up tempo?
That album was so just
wonderful,
robbed of an album of
completely.
the year nomination at the Grammys. Like
Completely.
really, what a feat! What a triumphant feat that it could have gone so wrong. The fact that it's just like, oh, I'm going to tell my own story of The Lion King. And it's like, ooh, what? Like this sounds cheesy and weird, but the fact that she made it so good and so artistically sound and so exciting and different and unique and unlike anything she had done before, like just topping herself once again, raising
Beyonce's the queen.
Girl, you've done it. Raising the bar for us once again, as Michelle Obama would say.
I love it. I think the honorable mentions from Beyonce this year, outside of Find Your Way Back, would be Mood Forever, just great because song. That like song rap she does in the middle of it is so freaking great. I always rewind. It's like the burn of Hamilton. I just rewind it every time. And also her cover of Before I Let Go on the Homecoming soundtrack. I feel like I did not give it as much love as I should have in our initial review, and I apologize for that, but I've been listening to it a lot.
I mean,
since.
so much was happening at that time.
That's the thing. There was so much. So once I got a chance to sit down and listen to it and listen to the Frankie Beverly and Mays cover, I just know how amazing it is, and it should be at every barbecue you ever have. So if you have a barbecue plan, throw on some Before I Let Go, Beyonce.
Beyonce's done so much for us this decade.
She has.
We should do maybe we could do this for our main channel, like best songs of the decade.
Ooh,
that'd be tough. That'd be tough.
We could do it though.
We would be fighting in that video.
Of course we would. I mean, of course we would. All right. So do we want to do a mini mailbag moment and like see, because we have like 3 more questions.
Yes, we do.
Right?
We have some like extras. Hold on. Let me go to our. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, I didn't know we were doing.
No, that's okay.
I forgot. Well, I forgot that we were. I knew we were doing this, but I just forgot. So
this is a mini email my heart. So we're going back through our emails at 2gaymats@gmail.com. That's 2 spelled TWO. Make sure to send us something. Send us questions. Send us comments. We love them all. And today we're going to be answering one of your questions in the inbox now.
From Jordan. Jordan says, "Hey guys, Jordan here. Big fan of the podcast / channel.
Thank you.
Quick question for Matt Steele. With all the precursors that announced this week, Golden Globe, SAG, etc., what are your current winner predictions for the above the line categories at the Oscars?" I honestly, it's either going to be The Irishman or Parasite.
for Best Picture?
I mean, The Irishman is by far and away the lead for Best Picture. But I really think that Parasite could possibly sneak in there, and it would be it's something that I feel like it's a movie that universally everyone loved.
Right.
It came out in theaters, which, The Irishman came out in theaters, but still there is a bias against Netflix amongst many producers and artists that are members of the Academy. So that could end up hurting The Irishman. And yeah, I mean, it's between those two.
Which would you prefer win?
They're both excellent.
Okay.
So seeing the Parasite win would be really cool. Just because a foreign language film has never won. And a lot of people feel that Roma was very robbed last year. And I really would have loved to have seen Roma win Best Picture last year as well. But it's between those two. I mean, 1917 might benefit from the preferential ballot. But war movies really are not the thing anymore. That's very much an 80s, 90s thing that like they won Best Picture then. And so possibly it hasn't come out yet. It's one of the few that has not come out yet. So I think it's between The Irishman and Parasite. Same with Best Director. I see Martin Scorsese winning Best Director again.
Yeah.
I don't see how he wouldn't. I mean, this is considered like a huge triumph for him. So yeah, those are kind of the above the line categories.
All
also,
right.
like if Renee doesn't win, I'm gonna be so mad. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, and a question for you, Matt Palmer from Jordan. Have you seen Parasite yet?
I haven't. I'm sorry. I was going to, but it's not playing in a lot of places, and I've been busy.
Yeah, because
I would like to.
It was out months ago. You missed your chance. You got to watch it on the TV.
All right. Well, tell me when it's available. I want to watch it because I've never heard a bad word about it. So
it's excellent. It's just fun. Like it's so unique, so different. It's funny. It's kooky. It's big and like campy and dramatic.
Right.
It's just a lot of fun while still having such a clear artistic vision and being so sound as far as that goes. So it would just be a fun win if that one. Yeah. But you should see it.
Okay.
And it's not that gory.
Okay. That makes me nervous.
There are like a couple moments where, like close your eyes for a second.
I will.
But that's it. It's not like banking on gore.
Okay, good. Because I don't like that.
You don't like
That's
that.
not
No,
my jam.
you've seen gorier by a mile.
All right.
Without a doubt. Yeah. So I decided to do the movie question for the music video. And for the next one, there's a music question.
Wow.
I know.
What a thinker you are.
I am, I got to give it diversity on the podcast, guys.
It's true. It's all about diversity here at 2 Gay Mats.
Absolutely. It really is.
It really is.
I mean, look at us.
It's true. Black, white, gay.
Gay,
We're all of the things.
Yeah.
Well, some of the things.
Well, just gay isn't really diverse because we're both gay.
Yeah, but most people are straight.
Yeah, but like in the world of in this room, there's not diversity as far as sexual orientation goes because we're both gay.
Yeah, but it's cooler.
The show's called
It's cooler to be gay.
It is cooler to be gay. Guys, it's cooler to be gay.
If you take anything into 2020, know that it's cooler to be gay.
I mean, I think this decade we've established that.
Yeah, especially ever since Glee went off the air, the gays have been cooler and cooler every second since.
Absolutely. There was a time where there was a dick.
And I was like, ooh. We're singing Raise Your Glass all together in an auditorium. Thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll be back next week with another mini top 5 2 Gay Mats podcast.
Bye.
Bye.